It's Too Many Men on the Mic, presented by Netfront LLC. Now here's Coach Drew and Coach Jared.
I mean, the song gets me pumped up. And it's Stanley Cup.
How can you not smile? How can you not smile?
It's Stanley Cup edition. Too Many Men on the Mic, and what a packed show. I love these kinds of shows because we say frequently to players, watch hockey. Watch a hockey game. If you can't watch an entire hockey game, watch a period of a hockey game and find a player that plays your position. So I love this show because we're going to be talking about what we just experienced, the ultimate prize in sports, the Stanley Cup, and how we can take the success stories within the game and the series and translate it down to youth hockey and some teaching moments. I love these kinds of shows.
Vegas in 5, right?
Right.
So much for what I know, right? There's an old saying that swallowing your pride has no cholesterol, and so I'm swallowing my pride a little bit this one when I'm saying that I was wrong about Vegas in 5. And I'm just happy Grant's not joining us this week to rub it in. But be that as
the bet is due, and so that's a great segue to outside of us covering great youth hockey teaching moments here tied to this series. We get to see Grant tomorrow at our Too Many Men on the Mic acoustic duo. I can't wait for him to come. I'm already thinking about what song he may or may not sing with us. And maybe we'll just let him go a cappella. We'll just stop playing. We'll step back and we'll say, give us your Barry Manilow. Give us your, whatever you're feeling at the time. I don't know. I think I have maybe a kid's tambourine somewhere in my house I can bring to the gig.
I'm sure he's got to have a recorder at home, right? I mean, it was just like he was in elementary school a couple of years ago. So he's got to have a recorder. Somebody's got a recorder in that household. I'm sure of it. Well, I love this show, notwithstanding my terrible prediction, which, by the way, we're going to cover some things that had it gone just a little bit the other way. It could have been a Vegas sweep. But this is an awesome opportunity for us to nerd out. This is a couple of hockey nerds, because we're going to be able, in full transparency, if you're listening to us on Spotify, Apple, iHeartRadio, Amazon, or wherever you get your podcasts, thanks to everybody for Buzzsprout and wherever you get your podcasts, this might be the episode to give YouTube a try, because we're going to have a lot of fun in breaking down film from the various games, and then comparing that, not so much as like these are NHL players that are the best at this sport in the entire world, but looking at coaches and players and saying, hey, here's how you can formulate your practice if you want to have this identity. And identity is like the through line for me in this entire series, in any sport. And I like to think the NHL is probably the pinnacle of professional sports leagues. The best teams have an identity, and Vegas has a phenomenal identity. The way they score off the rush, the way they defend, the way they funnel to the net. They got out identitied by the Hurricanes, in my opinion. Like the commitment and just the way the Hurricanes played. The Hurricanes just played their game better than Vegas played their game. And at the end of the day, that's what wins games and championships.
Yeah, and let's dig into that. Let's talk about identity. And I'll start with a stat. 45.5% of the time, Carolina was in the offensive zone. Like, think about that for a second. So almost 50% of the game, you're in the zone that you want to be in. You're in attack space. You have an opportunity to score. I mean, how fantastic is that? But how did that happen? Why do they have that stat? Because they are a forechecking team, and they are a dog on a bone. And I know you've got a drill in your back pocket that talks about this, but it is the forecheck. And, you know, the first player is coming in and making sure that you're leading that defenseman. I'm behind the net, right? You're leading that defenseman where you want him to go. And that second player is on top of the puck and making sure that that puck's not going to get out of the zone. And that third player is scanning and looking around the ice. And that is part of their identity. They are just a dog on a bone forechecking team, and the stats supports it. 45.5% at 5-on-5, they were in the offensive zone. That is amazing.
Yeah, and let's put that in perspective. The average team in the NHL spends somewhere around 37 to 40% in the offensive zone. And if you think about it, you know, you've got 3 zones of hockey, and you're going to spend some time in your defensive zone, usually a little bit of an inordinate time because you've got structured breakouts. Sometimes you're going to be back there on a change while the other team is changing, and there's time to take a breath. Certainly neutral zone is highly contested, but to be over 40%, and just think about this from a standpoint of that's 3 more minutes of offensive zone time than the average in the NHL. 3 more minutes. I mean, power play is only 2 minutes. So that tenacity, that ability to create offense from pure aggression and tenacity is something that I think most teams want to aspire to. And we've got a clip here that we can break down. But keep going. I'm gonna bring this up.
Real quick. I just wanted to, I had another thought as you were sitting there talking, and it just made me think about it. Think about what that does for your forwards. Okay. Your forwards aren't backchecking 45.5% of the time. They're in the zone. So already you've made your forwards job, part of your job as a forward is, yes, to backcheck and play defense. And so 45.5% of the time, if you're a forward, you don't have to worry about backchecking. What a luxury to have as a forward playing on a team like this. But let's see your clip, because I know what it looks like, and it's dog on a bone, man.
Yeah, the best defense sometimes is an offense. And so let's break this clip down here. This is the second goal out of Game 6, which really was the sealer. But if we watch this, you know, we start off. You know, this is the series. This is the before. But look right there. You've got 2-7 and Stankoven down deep on the puck. You've got control of the puck here. Puck goes out now. Again,
you got 2-on-5.
Forechecking the puck. Look at Stankoven. All he's doing is just throwing that puck. And what I love here is look at right. He's coming off the wall with a nice little turnout. And look at this right now. You have 5 Golden Knights. Stankoven wins the puck on the half wall. And for those of you listening at home, the half wall is not halfway up the boards. It's basically the wall between the blue line and the goal line, the half wall between the corner. But he does a nice little turnout here. And then he's just pushing that puck towards the net. Meanwhile, I think this is Staal. Staal's down below the dots, stick on the ice, tossing that puck towards the net. And then again, following his shot pass, getting right in the face of the Vegas defender, winning the puck again. Sometimes you don't have to forecheck a player. You're forechecking the puck. You're forechecking the area. You're beating the defense to the puck. And again, Stankoven down low. And then he trusts that the identity of his line, these players are going to be right to the front of the net. And so as he goes and picks this puck up, he doesn't even look. He puts that puck right back up into the blender. The puck's bouncing around, and then it comes back to him because its feet are moving. You've got Taylor Hall who's crossed in front of the net, and then what happens? Look at where their heads are. Every single player's head is on the puck. There's no shoulder. There's no shoulder check. So we've got forecheck here.
And you know what? Look who's in the bottom left-hand corner of your screen.
Yeah,
all by himself.
Taylor Hall. So we've got one player essentially beating five, and then setting up, which is an awesome play here. And then this goes off of a Vegas defenseman. So thanks, Vegas defenseman, for doing our net front job. But the whole series here is an example of really everything in motion for what Carolina's identity is: forecheck, cycle, net front.
Yeah, and one piece in that video that if you're a player, I want you to really listen to this. And actually, if it's not too much trouble, could you pull that clip up? Again, right at the end, don't give up on the play. So zero back in on Taylor Hall, and what was he doing? He didn't give up on the play. He drove the post being on the back door.
And then look who's got the puck right now. You've got a Vegas defenseman. The puck's on his stick. Stankoven's in, forechecking, plays the puck back. And then Taylor Hall here is just inside the right dot, head up, watching, drives right. He comes right through the house, coming right through the house. So 4, 15, Ike, 9, 3, and 21 have to, they're all watching the puck. He comes right through the house. You're cycling here, so Blake's going to come right back up to the high slot. And then, maybe there's a little puck luck there. I'd like to think they made their puck luck. Right back on Stankoven's stick. This was I couldn't, seeing this live happening, I was screaming at the TV at Vegas saying, what are you guys doing? What are you doing?
And look at Hall. He could have just watched. What did he do? He kept going to the net right there because there could have been a rebound. He might not have scored. He was uncovered. He was right there in front of the net. He would have been in perfect position had they not scored. Fortunately, they didn't. So they play to their identity, and it is attack.
I love it. It's attack. And so now you're a newer coach, or you're trying to get your players to attack, and you don't just want to be dumping the puck in and watching lines. What can you do? So let's take a look at some of the drills that we've come up with here. And I think one that comes to mind is, let me see here. And going to Drift Hockey, brought to you by Drift Hockey. No drill draw today because we're going to do several drill draws. So Drift's going to get a lot of airtime here today. If you're watching us on YouTube, head on over to drifthockey.com. Our friend Brian Dolan is building out a phenomenal hockey tool for coaches, players, and parents alike. All right, let's see here. I think that where is the drill that I'm trying to go with? It's usually a Red Wings cycle. Shout out to the Red Wings. Well, here's one that you can use that's gonna teach both a cycle, and it's also going to help your defenseman in the game as well. Because one of the things that the defenseman did not do in that sequence there, I got it right, that sequence there, is they weren't clearing out or boxing out Stankoven or Blake or Hall. It was just like a constant cycle, a constant coming out from the corner, going to the front of the net. And so this is a game, hang on here, we may have to come back to this, Coach. So this is a modified game you can play in practice that's going to, teach how to forecheck, the mentality of forechecking with your forwards. It's also going to teach your defensemen how to angle, box out, clear out, and it's a layered, it's a two-part game. So you're going to start off here with 2 pucks in the opposite corners, and what you have is the let me pull this up with some skating here. So each of these players, D1 and F1, are going to skate on the whistle, will skate up around the cones and go compete for this puck. F1 gets the puck, obviously he's going to try and go score. If D1 gets the puck, he's either going to try and pin, he can get a point for pinning the forward against the boards, or he can get 2 points for skating the puck out between the cones. The forward gets a point by getting possession of the puck and getting off a shot, and the forward gets 2 points if he can score. Once one of those things happens, coach blows the whistle, and F2 and D1 and D2 do the same thing over here with this puck. But here's the kicker. These now come and play into this game over on this side, and you've got a 2v2. You have a 2v2. Nice. You can elect, if you're a forward, to outman the puck and play support. There's variants that you can put into this as well. I like the idea of creating odd man opportunities. So you could have red players here to the right of the coach. You can have blue players to the left of the coach. And basically, if like the defenseman wins, maybe instead of it just being a 2-on-2, maybe you let a blue player come in to make it a 3-on-2. If the forward wins, maybe you let a player come in to make it a 3-on-2 that way. So there's a lot of different constraints and variables. But the key to this is we're trying to be first down puck between a defenseman and a forward. If the defenseman gets there first, and the way to do this is actually to make the defenseman's path a little shorter by even moving that cone down a little bit or making the forward go a little higher. You want to encourage the forward to be in that forecheck mentality. And then, you're keeping score, because that's part of the identity is you want to create a winning mentality, a will and a want to win. The best teams that I've been around, and I know the best teams you've been around, are the ones that are competing in every aspect of practice. There's always a level of compete. So you've got a forecheck component, you've got a retrieval and try to break out component, you've got angling, you've got support, because you now make this a 2v2 once you get to the second half. And then again, switch it up. Play as many players as you can into this. Maybe start this off as a 2v1 with 2 forwards versus 1 defenseman, and then have it the opposite over here. There's so many different ways that you can do this. But the key here is you're shrinking the ice. And again, this is only one zone you're playing in. And that entire clip that we showed of that goal was all in one zone, and it was a little bit over a minute. So if you play this drill and it takes you about 45 to 75 seconds, you're simulating a game scenario, and you're building a mentality to win the puck battles in the offensive zone, or to win the puck battle in the defensive zone and get it out and transition to offense. Because the minute that puck's on your stick, no matter where you are on the ice, you're on offense. So great drill, high level of compete, many of the concepts that we just saw. And a perfect world is that F2 gets possession of the puck, and now he and F1 are playing that 2-man game. Maybe you throw in an additional forward to make it a 3v2. There's so many things to do with this, but we call it the big boy game, because you got to be a big boy to go in there 1v1 and win that puck.
Oh, yeah. Love it. Well, we talked forechecking. As a defenseman, I loved in the last game in particular, Game 6, there was so much featuring of Jacob Slavin. And
best player on the ice.
I mean, but what I really want to highlight here is just backchecking, but backchecking connected to defensive gap control. Okay, the reason that Jacob Slavin, and I'd love to hear your take on this. This is, my thoughts on it as a defenseman. The reason that Jacob Slavin is allowed to play the way that he is that he knows that he can trust his forwards to come back and backcheck. So back to the identity. Part of the identity of being a forward on Carolina is that not only are you going to be a great forechecker, you're going to be a 200-foot player. You're going to skate and back check and make the job for your defenseman easier. And so defenseman, if you're a player out there, a D-man in particular, I get it. Nobody wants to get burned. But you don't want to give up so much of the neutral zone that you're backing up into your own zone and giving away ice. And so Jacob Slavin made a lot of great plays right in the neutral zone before that blue line happened, getting his stick out, making himself vulnerable. I mean, think about that. You're sticking your stick out. You are moving. You're going backwards on top of it. Think how exposed you could be potentially to getting burned there. But he didn't. And he didn't because he had the support of his forwards that were coming back, and he knew he could count on them to back check. That's my defenseman view. What's your view as a forward on Jacob Slavin?
I think Jacob Slavin attacks the puck as a defenseman. And one of the things that I love about aggressive hockey players is their first steps is forward. And they're leveraging the length that their stick adds to their body to create a obstacle for that forward. It's not just about the physical aspect of getting that of beating that forward physically or to the puck or with speed. It's also the mental aspect where that forward's got to make decisions. And look, in the NHL level, all the players they're like supercomputers on skates. They're processing constantly because that's all they do. But it didn't start that way. And so what Jacob Slavin has the ability to be aggressive is, like you said, he trusts that F1, F2, and F3, depending on where they are on the ice, are going to get back in case he gets beat. Because he's going to get beat sometimes if he's aggressive. He's going to get beat. And what I want to show here, we're going to show a couple of clips here. The first clip is not highlighting Jacob Slavin. We're going to get to that. But it's highlighting the group back check by the forward group here and what this and how they this is going to sound dastardly, how they foil a scoring attempt by the Golden Knights. So let's add this to the stage here.
I love it.
And let's
foil.
run through this. Okay.
No, that's a great Slapshot-esque quote, and I love that you used it in a verb format.
Got to use the foil. All right. Well, let's run through this whole clip, and then we'll come back and break it down. But the clip starts in the neutral zone. Vegas is on the attack. Basically got, we're balanced on the ice. Three Vegas players, three Hurricane players. Well, watch 5-3 especially.
Wow.
Look at that.
Him.
And then look at Stankoven is in basically Stankoven. What I love about this play, I love so much about this play. This is your trailer. He is at the opposite blue line.
Wow.
Everybody else is tips north. They're all head on the puck. He's not. He's just straight back down the Royal Road, and he's going to be the one who ends up. He's not able to get a body on a player, but he gets his body in the play. You don't always have to get your body on a player. Get your body in the play. Take away opportunities, and then you'll see another forward come back and clean it up. Another forward who, by the way, is not a center in Stankoven. Look at that. I mean, even though you might make the argument that Vegas player missed the net, you're missing the net because there's a player diving in front of you, taking your eyes away. The puck, look where the puck is. It hits him, comes out, and then Stankoven is the first man back. So we went from a 3-on-3 in the neutral zone to there's 4 Hurricane players down just inside the circle.
You know what? I almost like that play better. I love them both. I love that 53 got all the way back, but the fact that, again, the player didn't give up. Stankoven came back. He wound up getting that rebound. Think of what happened if he wouldn't have been there. That would have gone to a Vegas player, and potentially another scoring opportunity.
Now it's that mentality, knowing that your folks are going to back check, is what is going to be key when we watch this next clip. And again, to all of those of you watching and listening on Spotify, Apple, iHeartRadio, Amazon, all I can ask of you is please download us this week, but then go watch us on YouTube. Give us a two. Go head over to YouTube if you're listening to us on Spotify, because we've got some really good film breakdown that is applicable to youth hockey. All right, let's bring up Jacob Slavin. Let's talk about who I think was the best player in this series. Quietly was the best player. But I want to show you one of the things that I highlighted that'll haunt Jack Eichel, and I love Jack Eichel, so I feel bad even showing this. But I love Jacob Slavin too. A couple of American-born players, Olympic gold medalists. So here we've got a situation where Eichel is coming up the ice, and look where Jacob Slavin is in this play. So we'll watch it all the way through. Look at that! Like, just look at that.
Oh, I can't see the video.
You know what? Because I didn't add it to the stage. There we go.
There we go. Yeah.
I was so excited I forgot to press the add button. Let's start this off from the game. All right, we've got it. Look, this is a great textbook breakout by Vegas. We've got 3 Hurricanes in the picture here. Defense is off. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5-man breakout coming out of the zone. You got the puck on the right guy's stick, Jack Eichel. I mean,
love that play.
Just beautiful. Forces the dump in, and again, he's not retreating. He's using his length. He's measuring his gap. He knows, like, the thing about this play that people don't realize is when he makes that play, you've got 2 Vegas Golden Knights in the picture, and you've got guys already back checking in case Eichel beats him.
Yeah, you've got 2 forwards right there. That's a great shot right there.
Yeah.
Because
look at
him. He's extended, he's exposed. His D partner is already looking over and going, man, I can help you if this doesn't work out. And then on top of it, he's got a layer of 2 forwards that are coming back and back checking. They're like, I got you, man. If this doesn't work out, don't worry about it. We got your D partner, and both of us are here to help you out.
Yeah, and this is we have a great game to play that allows you to do all of this. It actually combines the last 2 clips with this clip if you play this game. But what I love about this is, just like you said, D2 is here to support if needed. And you've got F1 and F2 that are going to basically, F1's probably going to come and support the puck here and make sure that Marner is not a threat. And then F2 is going to go straight back and support deeper in the zone. But you've also got Jacob Slavin, so not to worry. And I think this next picture encapsulated it, because I think Eichel. Let's watch it again here. Unbelievable. And it's so cool, calm and collective about it. Look at the hips are perfect, and then what can you do? What can you do, Jack? Well, your buddy Jacob just took you out there. So before we go to break, let's take a look at how you can incorporate all these concepts in a game scenario in practice. That's going to be fun. It's going to be high compete. And it may actually be a sneaky bag skate on top of it. So let's pull this up here for our folks at home. You got to like sneaky bag skates.
Oh, yeah. They don't even know it, but they're skating a ton.
They don't. All right. So this is a 3v2 small area, which will then graduate to a 5-on-5. And it includes back checking and all those good things that we've just talked about here. So let's pull up the screen, add it to the stage. All right. So let's talk about this, and then we're going to have to head to a quick break. But what we have here is we've got the ice is set up where you're playing you're facing the net versus towards the boards in this zone. You can put bumpers up here. You don't have to put bumpers up, but you're basically playing in between the dots down to the end boards. And this is 3v2 with red being the forwards and blue being the defenseman. You'll play this game for about 30 to 45 seconds or until there's a goal scored. Meanwhile, blue forwards are lined up just in between the blue line and red line on their side of the neutral zone, and you've got 2 red defensemen. Once this game is blown dead, either it's 45 seconds or a goal is scored, coach passes to the forwards. They're attacking 3v2, but then all these players, and in particular the forwards, have to back check. So they're having to get back down, back check, and create, and even the odds down here can create a 5-on-5.
This is such a bag skate.
But think about it. You have a situation where you're playing inside the dots in a phone booth. You're wanting cycling, you're wanting puck battles, you're wanting quick shots, stick on the ice down here in front of the net. You're simulating hard-won battles down in front of the net and in the corners. And then you're forcing those players to back check because you're basically saying, okay, now we're going to go play with this puck down here. And if that doesn't get the juices flowing for your players, if that doesn't start to teach the mentality of, not only do you have to back check as fast as you can, but hey, defensemen, if you want to score goals, you've got to get up into the play. You've got to join the rush. You've got to recognize the opportunity to join the rush and get back in the play. And so this whole battle here, these forwards are trying to catch these forwards before they get into the zone and steal the puck and come back down here and score. And these defensemen are trying to beat them in there so they can make it a 5-on-2 or 4-on-2 or some form of an odd man play. And then you come down here and you play 5-on-5 until a goal scored, the puck's cleared, or it's another 30 to 45 seconds. And you keep rotating it.
That sounds like a lot of breathing to me. But what a great what a great combo of, I love the tight play to start it off, small area, and then you got to skate the full length of the ice to get into the second half of the play. Good drill, like it.
The other game you could play, and this is when you're maybe got 2 groups or 3 groups across, is you can essentially do a 3v3 in the zone, and you have an offense and defense, or 3v2 in the zone. You usually do a 3v2 in the zone, and if a goal isn't scored after 20 seconds, you blow a whistle. The forwards have to abandon the puck, come back to the neutral zone, and pick up another puck and come back in. So it's simulating them tracking back and back checking.
Right.
It's like, hey, you didn't. So there's a lot of different ways that you can start to instill that back checking mentality amongst your forwards. That game we just showed is a pretty extreme, lot of real estate to cover out there, and that's also going to be your I call it that's our PT, our physical training or our physical fitness. But again, it's compete, it's racing to the puck, it's tracking back, it's joining the rush, it's attacking, and then you also have this 3v2 mini game that gets everybody jazzed up as well. So.
Like it.
Well, we got to take a
minute of play in this period.
We got to take a quick break, pay a couple bills. We'll come back. We've got some more clips to break down and some more things to talk about as we head into the off season. But what phenomenal lessons that we can use as teaching opportunities as coaches from the Stanley Cup.
Yeah, I mean, this is taking the game, breaking it down, and showing players a real life situation, but then also helping coaches. Here's how you can take this and implement it into your practice plan. So coaches out there, I hope you're enjoying this, and I hope you can incorporate some of these drills into your practice plans for next season.
We'll be right back. Don't go. St. Louis hockey families and business leaders, if you need custom gear that stands out and stands for something, it's time to meet 5B Designs. Founded by Shannon Brahini, a proud St. Louis mom and entrepreneur, 5B Designs is a women-owned small business that brings purpose to custom apparel. Whether you're suiting up your youth or high school hockey team or leveling up your company's branded swag, 5B delivers top-notch quality with a personal touch. You need a team store? Not a problem. Corporate polos or event giveaways, they've got you covered. 5B makes it easy with fast turnaround, flexible service, and designs your players or employees will love to wear. Check them out at stores.inksoft.com/5B designs. That's the word five. And if you are watching on our YouTube feed, go ahead and scan that QR code in the top right hand corner of your screen and see what great gear and great service looks like. Real quick, folks, before we jump back in, if you're enjoying Too Many Men on the Mic, hit like and subscribe on our YouTube channel. It's a quick click for you, but it helps us grow the show and keep bringing you great hockey conversations. You can also follow us on Instagram by scanning the QR code on your screen in the top right-hand corner. And be sure to download, follow, and rate the podcast on Spotify, Apple, iHeartRadio, Amazon, or wherever you get your podcasts. And you can find us if you just go directly to our website too at tooManyMenOnTheMic.com. That's the number 2. Those are small things from you that help us keep delivering new guests, downloadable coaching content, and more from the rink. All right, back to the show. Well, I got to tell you, that was one of my favorite reads for 5B Designs. Big news and big thank you to Shannon. She has re-upped with us as a partner. We're going to be getting some great gear to give away. Not only are we going to have these hats, but we're going to have hacky sacks to give away to the kids around the rinks. For warming up pregame and getting your hand-eye coordination going. We're gonna have some great, cool retro style T-shirts and some cool colors. And then the big news is we've got this new banner that allows us to put our banner up when we're going to be live on site at different rinks doing different events with our new partner Vantage Credit Union. But also, and very cool, we'll be able to put it up when we do our live acoustic gigs, which we'll touch on a little bit further in the show. So before we get on with the rest of the show, thanks again to Shannon Brahini and 5B Designs. We are grateful and touched that you're a partner with us again for this upcoming year.
Thanks, Shannon. All right, so we've talked about forechecking. We've talked about backchecking and gap control. This is an insane stat to me. This is you almost read a stat like this and you go, can it be real? Is it really that number? The Conn Smythe MVP, Jordan Staal, 68% face-off win over the final. The best face-off percentage in Stanley Cup Final history for a 6-game series. But my point in bringing this up is I'm not really trying to to focus around face-offs. What I'm trying to tie face-offs to is net front, because guess what happens when you win face-offs? So you have the opportunity to get the puck to the net. You have an opportunity to drive the net. And so Jordan Staal is not only a fantastic face-off performer, but he's a big body, tough to move, plants himself right in front of the net. I don't know. I'd have to go back and look at every clip, but I don't remember one where he was off on his own, up above the circles, shooting a shot. They were all greasy, dirty goals right in front of the net, weren't they?
It's insane to me. He's on power play 1, but he only stays on power play 1 if he wins the faceoff. Because he wins the faceoff and goes right to the net. If they lose the faceoff, he hightails it off the ice, and I think he's usually replaced by Ehlers. He had some of the, I love, and you know how I love this, you can't spell goal without net front. And the kids are always looking at me like, what is he saying? And then by the middle of the season, they're like, okay, we get it. You want to score a goal, you go to the net front. And
I mean,
what he was able to do, we've got some clips here.
I was thinking of you when I brought this up, because this is right up your alley. This is your favorite ism in coaching. You can't score a goal without net front, and this is the guy.
Yeah, let's there's a couple here that I want to there's a couple things that I want to look at. Let's see which one to go first here. So
and real quick, while you're pulling this up, if you're a player out here, and we're going to watch this clip in a second, but he doesn't just stand in front of the net and get in the way. he reads the goalie. He is blocking the goalie while also moving as the goalie's moving. So there's an element of scanning, reading, and react. It's scanning in a very tight space, but he's not simply just planting himself there and saying, okay, fire away. He actually is doing everything he can to play off of the goalie and read where the goalie's going and give his team the best opportunity to do something with that.
Yeah, we've got a forecheck one here where he's getting behind the defense and gets a tip. Let's pull up. Hang on one second. This is the beauty of doing live, right?
Well, yeah, and I'll add one other element to it too. While you're getting it up, Carter Hart likes to kick rebounds off, and he likes to kick rebounds off on the right side. So part of this was him studying the goalie's tendencies. And so if he wasn't right in front of the net, the next best place he was on the back post. So that when Carter Hart was kicking off potentially a rebound, he was right there. He had a stick on the ice. He was positioned perfectly. So he was either in front of the goalie, screening that goalie, reading and reacting, or setting himself up, and maybe a little bit of both. Maybe he started in front of the net. That shot came in from the defenseman, rotated out, went to that back post on the right side, and put himself in position to get that rebound. So a lot of things that he's doing, and it's not just simply standing there.
Well, let's take a look here at a couple of goals by. Actually, I want to look at 3 goals by Mark Staal. Three particular goals. Let's take a look at the one that you mentioned first. This is courtesy of our friends at Sportsnet CA up in Canada. Which, hey, we'll give the Canadians their due when it comes to the Stanley Cup coverage. It's pretty good. All right. So let's see if this is. Actually, let me do something here really quick. Let me actually, before I add this, let me kind of trim it down so that we're not getting no free ads. So let me record this really quick for us. Modern technology, man. Could you imagine having this technology when we were, when we were kids, being able to like run all this film and tape?
Amazing. My gosh, it would be amazing.
And let's get this pulled up here. All right. Let me again, kiss of death is this dead air, but I think it's that important to show all 3 of Mark Staal's these three goals by Mark Staal. I think it's that important. So let's pull up the first one here, which I think this one probably is talking a little bit like you said, him getting to the back door. And you're going to see a lot of just, again, the same thing, that movement in the zone, some net front, some work done hard, similar to what Taylor Hall was on that other shift that we broke down. Let's bring this one up here first. Puck battle down low. Look at Staal. He's right off. Look at where Staal was that whole time. So when you see where Staal starts, everybody's watching the puck in the corner.
There he is.
Look at Mark Staal. I mean, he's only scored at this point 4 goals in the series, but nobody wants to be around him. And then falling down away.
And you know what? He's on the backside of the goalie. Goalie didn't even know he's there.
Nope, didn't even know he's there. So that's one of those great goals. Let's show a different one here that talks about Staal coming out of the corner and then going to the net, and this drives me nuts when I see kids with their stick at their hips or stick at their waist. Let's watch this next goal. This next goal is a thing of beauty, if you ask me. I might have even posted this from the Too Many Men on the Mic Instagram account and talking about how you should practice how you play. So let's get to the point here. All right. So we've got we've got let me let's add this. All right, we're starting here in the defensive zone for Carolina. I mean, just 5 guys in the zone. You've got 2 down low for Vegas and some guys coming off the bench. Winning the puck, up the boards, down now. So the key here is let's go back. Puck transitions. Again, we can't show a clip of Carolina without talking about forechecking. Can't do it. And who's the guy forechecking? Look who this is. This is Staal. He forechecks the puck, goes down low, causes that to be he's forechecking the puck down low, and causes this Vegas defenseman to not be able to get the puck out cleanly. So you're doing yourself a favor by forechecking and then continuing to move your feet. And just watch this. Oh, D. Where's the stick? On the ice goal. I mean, like, I would say you can't coach that, but I actually have a clip of a drill that shows that you can coach that. But it's amazing to me how, again, we talk about the identity of Carolina. You have net front, but you're not stuck in front of the net. You're moving constantly. And Staal there, he was down in front of the net trying to cause chaos with the goalie. Let's go back and run the playback a little bit. Like, he's down here by Carter Hart. That puck is not there. He's down here. Puck is up top. Hang on, where is he? Right here. So he's, down here in the corner. Now he's in front of the net, tracking the puck around, and then he's hustling. I mean, I would like to think all NHL players are going to bust their butt as hard as he has in Game 6 or Game 5 or Game 4 of the Stanley Cup Finals, but they don't. They didn't. He went almost 85 feet, from right, let's call it 60 feet, full steam. The puck is moving faster than him. This player has the advantage because he's heads up. He sees Staal coming for him, and Staal just comes over, and they can't get the puck out. And yeah, we had great support at the blue line, and then to make the play. Like, I mean, coaches, that's the type of stuff you need to be working on in practice. If everything can't be a small area game, and we actually have a drill that we run as almost like a warm up for our players, where you've got 2 lines at the red dot at the dots, and you're doing a puck retrieval, a dump, a pass up, and to the front of the net with your stick on the ice. And we've got video of what that looks like in action. Let me draw it up really quick if I can on Drift Hockey. Again, shout out Drift Hockey. And let me pull, and then I'll draw it up, and then I'll also show a video of what this looks like in action. It's just, again, you're just creating little nuances to your drills and games that translate to playing hockey, not just drawing it up on a whiteboard. So we run this sometimes as a warm-up drill for our players. It's also a warm-up drill for the goalies, because trust me, the goalies freaking do not like this drill, which is good. I like when goalies are uncomfortable and they don't like things. It makes them ornery. I know, right? All right. So it's a little. What I will also say to coaches is you can run this at a lot of different age levels. Just be patient and tell the kids to be patient, because it's a lot of movement. But as you saw in that play, there was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 distinct motions within that play we just watched on the screen there. So let me show you how this works. You line everybody up at each dot.
Oh, you got to bring up the drill draw.
Oh, got to bring up the drill draw. Gosh darn it. I get so excited. There we go.
There it is.
So we set up in one end of the zone. You line every player, you put pucks on the dots, and every player lines up on the dots here. So the first thing you do is, the way this works, and I'm going to actually change the color of the players that are involved in the actual drill. And we'll call them just P1. All right. And we'll call it P2. And we'll call this guy P3. And this is going to constantly rotate. So the puck is going to start with P3 here, this player right here. This player is going to dump the puck into this corner. The puck's going to come down into this corner. Let's move the puck down. Puck goes in that corner. So then P1 is at the back of the opposite line. This is important. This player skates down and picks this puck up here. At the same time, P2 is going to curl out and come to the boards like this. There's a pass from P1 up to P2. The minute that pass happens, P1, who I'm going to move down here actually. Let's do some movements here. P2 here, P1 down here. Now, so now what happens is P1 skates to the net front with his stick on the ice. P2 does your turnout. Got to do a turnout.
Oh, yeah.
Tacks down the middle and takes a shot. P1 goes to the front of the net. I'm sorry, P1 here is now at the front of the net. P2 has skated here and made the shot. Tip drill, you can play a little rebound game pretty quickly. But then what happens is now P1 goes to the front of this line. So now he's going to be the next, he's going to go to the front of this line here. And the first player in this line over here dumps the puck in this corner. And what do you think happens? P2 continues down and picks this puck up. And then the last player in this line curls over, and we continue the cycle. And what you're doing is you're creating a retrieval, a pass up the board, you're playing the puck off the boards, you're doing a turnout, you're coming in a shot, and you continually do this. So what does this look like in practice? Like, what does it look like when you're trying to practice it? Well, I'm glad you asked, Jared, because I'm going to show you exactly what it looks like. I mean, you know, you can't. For me, it's all about. Let me pull up the. Let me pull up the file that I have. Here we go. And let me. There we go. And so what that, I mean, that's obviously a lot of, it's a lot of moving parts. But I want to be able to show folks at home that it can be done. So let's show what it looks like in practice. And that it's not as complicated as it looks like on a virtual whiteboard.
Yeah, this is the drill that always throws the kids off because you're working from the back of the line. You actually have a front component and that first player that's throwing the puck in the corner, but you're actually working off the back of the line.
Yep. And so if you watch this shooter is going to end up going in that corner, but it's just a simple rotation where players picks the puck up, we're curling out, comes up top, goes to the net, tip, and then there'll be a puck back down the corner. So it can be done. Again, like you said, patience is a virtue for both the coaches and the players. Encourage your players not to get discouraged. It's okay if you mess up. And typically, if you mess up, if you're still taking a shot, and if somebody's still going to the front of the net, the drill's still going to be worthwhile. But it's absolutely a great warm-up drill. It gets the mind going, it gets the hands going, it gets the feet going, and it's a good warm-up drill for the goalie as well.
Yeah, and one thing that just add to this, another coach that we both know coined this, and it's making a deal. It's making a deal between the defenseman and the forwards. So the defenseman will shoot the puck low. And the reason that the forwards can feel okay going to the net front and planting themselves there is that they're not going to get a high shot from the defenseman. So it's a deal. D shoots the puck low, forwards go to the net. Nobody gets hurt. And so if you're a coach out there, that's one piece that you could express to your players before you get started in this. In case you might have some kids, depending on what age that you're working with, that might have a little bit of trepidation with going to the net. Don't worry about that. Defensemen are going to shoot low. You're going to be perfectly fine.
And if we want to talk a little bit about that, we actually have a game that we can play. It's also it's in one zone. Let me pull this up really quick. And it's a 2v2 with defense up top. And the whole point of this is to win a puck battle, get possession of the puck, get the puck up top, and get to the front of the net. And let me set the stage here. And again, if you're listening to us on Spotify, we love the fact that you're listening to us, and hopefully you downloaded. But this is the week to go check us out on YouTube. Because we got some cool stuff going on. All right, so to your point, being able to practice net front, being able to practice, really that defenseman's ability to keep that puck low and dangerous. Let's demonstrate this last small area game, and I will kind of walk us through this really quick. So the game starts off, and again, if you don't have two goalies, you can do this with just one net in the zone. But the game starts off with a 2v2 below the dots, with two nets on either side of the crease. Blue is going to be defending the net up top. Red's going to be defending the net on the bottom. But you'll notice that the defensemen are in the offensive side of the zone. So the game starts with the coach dumping the puck in. So we're going to dump the puck in. And we'll have all these drills and games on our website, toomanymenonthe.com. Check it out. It's a great read. So start with a puck battle with blue versus red. And we'll make the colors appropriate. And let's say in this scenario, red outmans and gets control of the puck. So what red is going to do is, let's say he gets control of the puck. He may elect to skate it out here and then pass it up to his buddy playing defense up top. So now what happens is all the skaters, the forwards, have to activate and go to the front of the net. So we've got red going into the front of the net here. We've got two levels of red players. Obviously, blue's going to come down and try to box out or clear out. Now, what happens here is the defense goes D to D with the puck as many times as they want. Now, I always recommend it should just be D to D, because D to D to D, it's out of the playoffs is what happens if you go too many times D to D. But this is where we talk about that shot. And as the reason why you want your Ds to go D to D at least twice is you're going to get the goalie to have to move laterally. And you're also going to get these players having to move and make sure that they are squaring up to the shooter and creating as much of a obstacle for the goalie and making it hard on the defenseman. As soon as that shot comes through, you can play tip drill. Blue gets possession, they're going to come to the other side, and the whole thing hopefully takes place over here on the other side. You run this for about, again, 40 to 60 seconds, rotate your players. You can also do this with 3-on-3. You can also do this with just one goalie and two defensemen who are kind of like your all-time quarterbacks. They're just up there to shoot the puck. But it's a great drill to, again, you're incorporating puck battle, forechecking, body checking, escape, support, net front, box out, clear out, lateral movement of your goaltender. All those things are incorporated in this drill, and it's really gets that, kind of that muscle memory for when you're on the ice, and it looks like the game. And that's the most important thing when you're doing these practices.
And an important point to pull the drill up just one more time if you could. An important piece on the drill, if you're a coach, is the D cannot go below the top of the circle, right, and the forwards cannot go above the dot. So we don't want the D getting chased. We want to work on the concept, and the concept is net drive, net front in particular. Giving the D that space to be able to have that D-to-D passing back and forth, get the goalie moving, have your net front players moving along with the goalie. And so forwards can't come up, D can't come down, and that drives, really creates the conditions for the whole net front piece.
Yep. Shout out to Drift Hockey for us being able to highlight different zones that can accentuate that rule. But that's a great piece. We want to be able to, again, this is practice. We want game-like situations, but we still want the players to be able to do what they are.
Love it.
I've got one thing that I wanted to share. And this is a video that has nothing to do with any footage from the Stanley Cup playoffs, but this is a cool one, and I want to share this one before we move on to the next topic, because I think it's so important. Let me pull up I'm jumping all around here. It's awesome, but it's also, I sometimes get lost on my own computer. So we talk about identity. And I want to just show here an actual practice clip from the Carolina Hurricanes. And I think what you'll see is a lot of what they do are the same things that youth hockey coaches are doing all around the country. And it doesn't matter how old you are, how skilled you are, making sure you're having a fun, intense, and meaningful practice is important no matter what level you're at. And I think it speaks a little bit to, the culture and the identity of the Carolina Hurricanes. So I'm just going to go ahead and let this play through for a minute for our viewing enjoyment. But, this is a pro practice, and I'm proud to say that I think the coaches I've been around have taught me that this is what you want to aspire to. Let's run it. So look at that. You've got a 4v3, little breakout, forecheck, moving the puck, back checking. I mean, it's just constant.
Everybody's moving.
Everyone's moving. You know what? And look, they're not laying each other out. They know they're all teammates, but there's intensity. Backdoor, looks like Staal right there. And again, we're just moving right off the bench. Here we go. There's no pause. Players know where they're going. They're playing with intention and intensity. Look at that forecheck. That's a forecheck against one of their best players at the time, coming in wide. Just lots of fun, and this is the type of stuff that when you have the option, and you don't need full ice to do this. You can do this with half the ice and just have guys roll around and tag up like they're playing basketball. But this is a pro practice, and the compete, the fun, the intensity, and the stuff they're working on. It's muscle memory, it's forechecking, it's back checking. They're not just letting a guy off the hook because there's a puck loose next to the net. They're attacking the whole time. So, right there, forecheck. He's not going to let him out. He's like, I'm coming here forechecking. And for these guys, it's their living, and for them, this is sometimes the difference between a healthy scratch and being able to play in the next game, and maybe their next paycheck. But I know from talking to guys that I've had a chance and pleasure to meet, and I know you've met some former NHLers too, they just love playing. And the best practices incorporate games, whether it's in a small portion of the rink or it's the entire ice. It incorporates games that look like the game and are fun and competitive. And so I encourage folks to if you're a new coach, find a good coaching mentor and just keep at it, have fun, and use these opportunities. We're not looking to coach and make the next NHL player, but hockey players are hockey players, and I think it's so cool.
Love it. Love it. Well, we got to tell our listeners about our gig.
Oh, absolutely. So let's take a break here real quick. We'll come back and we'll tell folks about that, and we'll put a bow on it.
Love it. If you're listening to the show and you're local to St. Louis, Missouri, come on out to the Too Many Men on the Mic acoustic duo show. We're going to be out at St. Louis Music Park. That's on the backside of the Centene Community Ice Rink from 5 to 8 p.m. You're going to hear 2 sets of great music covering everything from rock, yacht rock, California rock, blues, folk, basically any kind of good music that's out there. There's also going to be shopping. There'll be food and beverage out there. And of course, the Too Many Men on the Mic show. So that's 5 to 8 today out at St. Louis Music Park. Come check it out.
I'm excited. I don't know how we're gonna top this one. This is a big deal for us. So I'm super excited. And thank you to Centene and St. Louis Music Park for having us out. Coach, you'd mentioned a couple things as we talked last week about the affordability of hockey, and I think you teased an initiative that we've had, and I know that we had talked about RK and Luna Sports being able to help us out, but I think why don't you go ahead and elaborate on that for our friends in the community that there's an opportunity to give back, and I think let me pull up the graphic and you can go ahead and get started talking about our skate and stick donation plan.
Yeah, if you didn't catch the show, just a stat that we'll put out there, 62.6 increase in Tier 2 youth hockey fees over the last decade. Hockey is becoming harder and harder from an affordability standpoint for families to get their kids involved within youth hockey. We see that as an opportunity. And so we're making a commitment, the Too Many Men on the Mic show, to put kids in free pairs of hockey skates and also sticks. If you want to support this cause, you can reach out to myself or Jared, Drew at tooManyMenOnTheMic.com, Jared at tooManyMenOnTheMic.com. Your proceeds will help make hockey more affordable for families out there that might not have the luxury of being able to consider a new pair of hockey skates. And hockey skates are the most expensive piece of equipment that your youth hockey player will be equipped with. Sticks are a pretty close second. So we're thrilled to be able to launch this initiative, put some free skates and some free sticks in the hands of youth hockey players, make youth hockey just a little bit more affordable for families out there. So I can't wait to see how many skates we can come up with. If you'd like to contribute and have an interest in helping out, reach out to Jared, reach out to me, and we appreciate your help.
Yeah, and again, the huge thanks to RK and Luna Sports for donating the first. I think we've got 3 or 4 pairs ready to donate to a couple of organizations that help families make hockey more affordable. You can't play without skates, and if you got an 8-year-old, a 9-year-old, a 10-year-old, a 12-year-old, they don't stop growing, and sometimes they have to get a new pair of skates in the middle of the season, and that's not an easy thing for some families to handle. So we're going to give back, and we're going to challenge our community to help us do it. So unbelievable opportunity, and we hope to hear from you on it. Well, that was a fun one, Coach.
Oh my gosh, it is, and I love being able to tie the game.
I got to put my nerd glasses on because I was definitely a hockey nerd.
I love being able to tie the game in. I feel like we spend a lot of time on the ice talking to the kids throughout the season and saying, watch a game, watch a period, follow a player that plays your position, but being able to tie the most exciting games, the highest stakes games, showcasing some concepts, and then tying that right back in to coaches to be able to implement into their practice plans. I hope our players learn something. I hope coaches walk away from this and have maybe one or two drills that they can add to their arsenal. And I love tying it all together.
I think there's one other aspect to this that I don't think we touched on. It has nothing to do with the performance on the ice, but it has to do with being a phenomenal teammate. Freddie Anderson was pulled from Carolina about halfway through the series. And this is a guy who was really, I think he was going into the finals. He was 8-1, 900 plus save percentage. And recognized that in order for things to change for Carolina, they had to make a change in net. And the first guy, not on the ice to Bussy that I really saw was Frederik Andersen. And that just goes to show you that, goalie is a unique position. You only have one on the ice at any given time. But the team within a team and the great teammates that those two guys are, I think that that's a testament in all youth hockey players, whether you play goalie, defenseman, forward, take a page out of that book. It's about what happens with the team and how you lift each other up. And I thought that that was one of the best scenes of the final. Wanted to make sure I pointed that out. What an awesome teammate Freddie Andersen was.
What a classy player. And he only supported him in the post interviews I heard afterwards. And Bussy only lauded Freddie. We couldn't have been here without him. He carried us the whole way. So just great teammates.
Yep. And on that, I think that's a wrap for this week. Next week will be a much more podcast friendly episode as we bring on Dr. Adam Gelhill from who's a child psychologist and youth sports researcher from the UK who's done some work with kids over in the UK and in the mainland Europe, specifically Swedish hockey, about the importance of having fun. So I'm excited to meet with Adam next week, and I think it'll be a great episode for all of our audience. So be sure to tune in next week as well. But thanks for joining in tonight.
I love it,
man. Shoots, he scores.